What in the world is happening with Andrew Mangiapane in Edmonton? Are the Oilers really about to cut bait on a player they just brought in? A player who, not long ago, was seen as a key free agent acquisition? Folks, if you thought the Evander Kane saga was dramatic, prepare yourselves, because the situation surrounding Andrew Mangiapane is quickly becoming one of the most intriguing and, frankly, baffling storylines of the season. This isn't just about a struggling player. It's about a team's willingness to admit a mistake, a player's fight for relevance, and the desperate dance of general managers looking for value in unexpected places. We're talking about a 29-year-old winger who, despite his recent struggles, has a proven track record of being a productive NHL forward, a tenacious presence, and a player capable of chipping in offensively. Now, he's a healthy scratch for 3 straight games, and the writing, it seems, is on the wall. Think about the sheer frustration for Mangiapane, a player who signed with the Oilers with the promise of contributing to a Stanley Cup contender, only to find himself relegated to the press box. And for the Oilers, it's a tough pill to swallow. They brought him in as a free agent, hoping he'd provide secondary scoring and a gritty presence, but it just hasn't clicked. He's been tried on various lines alongside superstars like Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl and with other Oilers players, but as our sources indicate, there has not been a good fit up or down the lineup. This isn't just a minor slump, it's a fundamental disconnect, a puzzle piece that simply refuses to fit into the Oilers' grand design. The initial hope was that they could either find a new home for him, accepting a sell-low scenario, or somehow make it work. Unfortunately, it appears the first option is now the only one truly on the table. The emotional toll on a player being a healthy scratch, especially one with Mangiapane's pedigree, cannot be overstated. It's a blow to confidence, a challenge to professional pride, and a clear signal that a change of scenery is not just desired, but necessary. This isn't just a trade rumor. It's a narrative of unfulfilled expectations, a search for redemption, and a high-stakes gamble for any team willing to take a chance on a player who might just need a fresh start to rediscover his game. The question isn't if Mangiapane will be traded, but when, and more importantly, where he'll land and what kind of return the Oilers can salvage from this challenging situation. The clock is ticking, and the longer he sits, the more his trade value and perhaps his confidence continues to erode. Now, let's dive deep into the potential landing spots for Andrew Mangiapane, because despite his recent struggles, there's a surprising amount of interest swirling around him. This isn't just about offloading a player, it's about finding the right fit, a team that can unlock the potential that we all know Mangiapane possesses. 2 destinations have been repeatedly mentioned by insiders: the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Anaheim Ducks. Both teams have their own struggling players who could be part of a swap, making for an intriguing change of scenery type of deal. But the list doesn't stop there, and the possibilities are far more expansive and fascinating. First up, the Columbus Blue Jackets. NHL insiders have suggested that Oilers GM Stan Bowman has shown interest in Blue Jackets captain Boone Jenner. Imagine a deal where Mangiapane is included, giving Columbus an NHL-proven player who would likely step into a higher role immediately. This isn't a straight one-for-one, but a bigger package built around these 2 players makes a lot of sense for both sides. Columbus gets a chance to buy low on Mangiapane, potentially revitalizing his career, while the Oilers get a veteran presence they've reportedly coveted. Then there are the Winnipeg Jets. Initially connected by Pierre LeBrun, Elliot Friedman also named them as a potential fit. The Jets, currently struggling in the standings, could use some depth scoring, and with over $3.6 million in cap space, they can easily absorb Mangiapane's cap hit. The fit seems good, and the price, given his current situation, likely won't be exorbitant. This could be a low-risk, high-reward move for Winnipeg. Don't forget the Boston Bruins. David Pagnotta of the Fourth Period reported over the summer that the Bruins were interested in Mangiapane before he signed with the Oilers. It's entirely plausible that Don Sweeney and the Bruins are still keen. Boston is in a retooling phase, and buying low on an asset like Mangiapane, with the potential to either integrate him or flip him later, aligns perfectly with their strategy. He could get a better opportunity in Boston than he's currently getting in Edmonton, creating a win-win-win scenario for all parties. And finally, the San Jose Sharks. Friedman also reported their interest. The Sharks are trying to exit their rebuild, having accumulated top picks like Macklin Celebrini, Will Smith, Michael Misa, and Sam Dickinson. Now, as they push for a playoff spot, they can afford to give up draft capital. Buying low on a player who has shown to be a productive NHL forward is a smart bet, and Mangiapane would undoubtedly get a chance to prove himself on an NHL roster that the Oilers can no longer offer. The sheer breadth of interest, despite his recent struggles, speaks volumes about Mangiapane's underlying talent and the belief that a change of scenery could reignite his game. The climax of this story will be which team is willing to pull the trigger and what the Oilers can extract in return for a player whose value is currently at its lowest. So, what's the takeaway from all this, folks? Andrew Mangiapane's tenure with the Edmonton Oilers appears to be drawing to a close, a surprising turn of events for a player who was brought in with such high hopes. The fact that he's been a healthy scratch for 3 consecutive games and that his situation doesn't seem to be resolving paints a clear picture. A trade is not just likely, but necessary for all involved. As Elliotte Friedman wisely put it, I think they will be able to trade him. I just don't have a good timeline on it. But I have heard there is interest. That interest, as we've explored, spans across multiple teams, from the Columbus Blue Jackets and Winnipeg Jets to the Boston Bruins and San Jose Sharks, not to mention the Toronto Maple Leafs and Anaheim Ducks. Each potential destination offers a unique set of circumstances, a different role for Mangiapane, and a distinct trade package for the Oilers. The longer Mangiapane sits, the more his trade value diminishes, and the more uncomfortable the situation becomes for both the player and the team. It's a classic NHL dilemma. How do you maximize return on an asset that is currently underperforming and being showcased as a healthy scratch? The Oilers' ability to facilitate a move for Mangiapane, even if it's a sell-low scenario, is crucial. It demonstrates a willingness to fix mistakes, to adapt, and to prioritize the best interests of both the team and the player. This kind of organizational integrity can actually help them attract talent in future free agency periods, showing that they won't hold a player hostage in a bad situation. For Mangiapane, a trade represents a fresh start, a chance to rediscover his scoring touch and tenacious play in a new environment where he'll likely be given a more prominent role. It's a chance for redemption, a new chapter in a career that has seen its share of ups and downs. This isn't just about moving a player. It's about finding a solution that benefits everyone, allowing Mangiapane to thrive elsewhere and the Oilers to reallocate resources to better fit their roster needs. What do you think, hockey fans? Which of these rumored destinations makes the most sense for Andrew Mangiapane? And what kind of return should the Oilers be looking for in a trade? Could a change of scenery truly reignite his game, or are his struggles a sign of a more permanent decline? Let us know your thoughts, your trade proposals, and your predictions in the comments below. We want to hear your insights on this evolving situation. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this breakdown informative and engaging, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel for all the latest exclusive trade rumors and in-depth analysis as we head towards what promises to be an electrifying NHL trade deadline. Your passion for the game fuels our coverage, so let's keep this conversation going.